Seniors, how are you? For too long, retirement has been seen as the quiet winding down of life, a time to simply rest after decades of work. But what if we turned that idea upside down? What if retirement isn't the end of the road, but the gateway to your next grand adventure? This is the moment when time finally belongs to you, when new passions, bold experiences, and fresh opportunities for growth can take center stage. In this journey, we'll break free from old stereotypes and explore how retirement can be the most exciting, fulfilling chapter of your life. Because your greatest adventure doesn't end with retirement. It begins with it before we begin. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any video. Number 1, beyond the gold watch, what retirement really is. Picture this. After decades of hard work, dedication, and routine, you're handed a gold watch and a handshake, and then you're expected to quietly fade into the background. For generations, this was the image of retirement. Rocking chairs, endless naps, and a slow drift into the sidelines of life. But let's be honest, does that sound like the life you truly want? Or does it sound like the closing of a book that still has so many chapters left unwritten? Retirement today is no longer a final destination. It's a launching pad. It's not about stepping away from purpose, but stepping into a new kind of freedom. Imagine having the time, the energy, and the wisdom you've gathered over the years, all converging to give you a chance to design the life you've always dreamed of. Isn't that more exciting than simply sitting back and watching the world go by? Margaret, for example, at 67, after leaving her corporate career, she didn't retreat into a quiet corner of life. She bought a second-hand camper van and set out to visit every national park she'd always read about, but never had the time to see. Along the way, she discovered new friends, new hobbies, and even started a blog that inspired thousands of people her age to embrace adventure. Her retirement didn't feel like an ending. It felt like her real beginning. So how can you rethink your own retirement? First, challenge the old story in your head. Instead of asking, "What will I do with all this free time?" ask, "What have I always wanted to try but never could?" That one shift opens doors you didn't even realize were there. Second, commit to staying active, physically, mentally, and socially. Join a club, learn a new skill, or volunteer for a cause you care about. Purpose doesn't disappear with retirement, only grows when you nurture it. Third, give yourself permission to dream big again. You've spent a lifetime meeting responsibilities. Now it's time to invest in passions. Write that book, learn to paint, start a small business, or travel somewhere that's always called your name. Let's ask ourselves, if retirement isn't the end of the road, what if it's the open highway you've been waiting to travel? What if instead of slowing down, it's about finally living at your own speed? This is the reimagined reality of retirement, not a retreat, but a rebirth. The gold watch isn't a symbol of time running out. It's a reminder that now, for the first time, time truly belongs to you. So don't step back. Step forward. Next grand adventure is waiting, and it begins the moment you decide to embrace it. Number 2, designing your unwritten chapter. Think about this. For most of our lives, we've been taught to prepare for retirement like it's a finish line. We've saved, sacrificed, and worked with one goal in mind: security for the future. But once you finally arrive at that moment, what comes next? If all you've planned for is money, what happens to meaning? Retirement isn't just about having enough in the bank. It's about designing the unwritten chapter of your life, a chapter that's waiting for you to fill with adventure, curiosity, and purpose. The truth is, this phase of life isn't the end of your story. It's the moment you finally get to hold the pen. For some, adventure might look like traveling to places you've only seen in magazines. For others, it may mean learning a new skill, starting a passion project, or giving back in a way that lights up your soul. The definition of a grand adventure isn't one size fits all. It's deeply personal. What excites you? What's been sitting quietly on your heart, waiting for the right time? Isn't it possible that now is that time? Consider David's story. He spent 40 years as an accountant, carefully planning his retirement savings. When the day came, he realized he had never planned for how to actually live those years. After some reflection, he remembered his lifelong love for photography. So, he invested in a camera, joined a local club, soon found himself traveling to capture breathtaking landscapes. Not only did he rediscover joy, but he also built friendships and even started showcasing his work in community galleries. David didn't just retire. He designed a brand new life chapter. How can you start designing yours? First, take time for reflection. Ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? What dreams did I once put aside that I can now explore? Write them down and let them guide your vision. Second, experiment. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Try out a class, test a new hobby, or dip your toes into a volunteer opportunity. Sometimes the best adventures start with small steps. Third, redefine what success means to you now. Success doesn't have to mean promotions or paychecks anymore. It could mean health, happiness, creativity, or simply waking up excited about the day ahead. So, let me ask you, when you look at the blank pages of your unwritten chapter, do you see hesitation or possibility? Do you see an empty space or a canvas waiting for your masterpiece? Retirement is not just about closing the book on your career, it's about writing a new story where you get to be both author and adventurer. The next chapter is yours to design, so dream boldly, plan purposefully, and live fully. Your grand adventure isn't out there somewhere. It's waiting inside you, ready to begin. Number 3, financial freedom for your dreams. One of the biggest fears people carry into retirement is financial. We've been conditioned to believe that unless we've saved millions, our future will be limited and our dreams out of reach. But here's the truth. Living a fulfilling retirement isn't about having an enormous fortune. It's about using what you have with wisdom, creativity, and purpose. Money is a tool, not the final measure of whether you can live a life of adventure. Think about it this way. Do you really need endless wealth to enjoy a meaningful journey? Or do you need clarity, flexibility, and the courage to design a lifestyle that matches your resources? For many people, the most fulfilling experiences, traveling locally, picking up a new hobby, mentoring younger generations, or starting a small passion project, don't require millions in the bank. They require intentional choices. Take Paul's story. At 62, thought retirement meant scaling back and playing it safe financially. But instead of waiting for the perfect nest egg, he began teaching guitar lessons a few hours a week, something he loved but never pursued during his career. The modest income gave him the freedom to cover extra travel expenses, but more importantly, it reignited his joy. He didn't need millions to feel wealthy. He needed alignment between his passion and his lifestyle. So how can you create financial freedom for your dreams? First, reframe the way you think about income. Retirement doesn't have to mean shutting the door on all forms of work. Part-time projects, freelancing, or turning a hobby into a side hustle can not only supplement your income, but also keep you engaged and connected. Second, get smart with your resources. Review your expenses and ask yourself, is this supporting the life I want, or is it weighing me down? Cutting unnecessary costs can free up funds for experiences that truly matter. Third, explore simple investment or saving strategies that fit your comfort level. Even modest, steady growth can create breathing room for your adventures. Let's be honest. How often do we overestimate what we need and underestimate what's possible? Is it really about the size of your retirement account or about the size of your imagination in using it? The myth that only the ultra-rich can live an adventurous retirement is just that, a myth. Financial freedom doesn't mean limitless wealth. It means shaping your lifestyle so that your money serves your dreams instead of limiting them. With creativity, planning, and a willingness to think differently, you can unlock opportunities that once felt out of reach. Your resources are not a cage. They're the wings that can carry you into the next grand adventure of your life. Number 4, the power of purpose and connection. There's a saying that loneliness is one of the heaviest weights a person can carry. And for many people stepping into retirement, that weight can creep in silently. After years of structured schedules, coworkers, and constant interaction. The sudden quiet can feel overwhelming. But here's the good news: retirement doesn't have to mean isolation. In fact, this stage of life can become one of the most socially connected and purposeful chapters you'll ever experience, if you choose to make it so. Purpose and connection are not luxuries. They're fuel for our happiness, our health, and our sense of belonging. When we engage with others, we're reminded that our lives still matter deeply, not just to us, but to the people we touch. Isn't it true that the moments we remember most are rarely about money or possessions, but about the people we laughed with, helped, or grew alongside? Take the story of Alina. At 70, she had retired from teaching and suddenly found herself feeling restless and disconnected. Instead of staying in that place, she decided to volunteer at a local literacy program. What started as a few hours a week turned into a powerful new sense of purpose. She wasn't just filling time. She was shaping lives, and in return, she gained friendships, energy, and a renewed sense of self. Her retirement stopped feeling like an ending and started feeling like a second career in meaning. So how can you bring more purpose and connection into your own life? First, prioritize social engagement. Join a local group, reconnect with old friends, or explore clubs where you can share your passions. These aren't just activities, they're lifelines to joy and belonging. Second, look for ways to give back. Whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or starting a small community initiative, giving your time and energy creates ripple effects far beyond what you can see. Third, remember that your physical and mental wellness are the foundation for everything else. Take a daily walk, practice mindfulness, or simply stay curious by learning something new. A healthy body and mind give you the strength to keep pursuing adventures, both big and small. Ask yourself this: what impact do you still want to make? Whose lives can you touch in ways only you can? The answers to these questions may hold the key to a retirement filled not just with years, but with meaning. Retirement is not about stepping away from life. It's about stepping into a community, into connection, and into purpose. When you surround yourself with people, share your gifts, and care for your health, you don't just extend your years, you enrich them. The power of purpose and connection is what turns ordinary days into extraordinary adventures, and it's what makes this chapter of your life worth celebrating. 5. Your next grand adventure starts now. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this: the calendar says, retired. But instead of life slowing down, feels like a brand new door swinging wide open. The truth is, your next grand adventure doesn't begin years from now. It begins the moment you decide to take that first step. Retirement is not a finish line. It's a fresh beginning. And whether you're already retired, approaching it, or simply dreaming of the future, the time to start shaping that chapter is today. The beauty of this stage of life is that it's yours to design. Maybe your adventure is traveling the world. Maybe it's learning photography, writing a memoir, or opening a small shop you've always dreamed about. Perhaps it's simply having the freedom to spend more time with the people you love. There's no version of retirement. It's about discovering what lights you up. Isn't it exciting to think that the best years of your life might still be ahead of you? Consider Richard's story. After retiring at 65, realized he had never taken the time to nurture his love for gardening. What started as a few pots on his balcony grew into a full backyard garden that became a gathering spot for neighbors and friends. Before long, he was teaching kids in the community how to plant and care for vegetables. Richard's retirement wasn't about slowing down. It was about creating something meaningful that gave joy both to him and others. His adventure started with one small step and blossomed into something far bigger than he imagined. So how can you begin your own adventure right now? First, write down 3 dreams or activities you've always wanted to explore but never had time for. Seeing them on paper makes them real. Second, set one simple, actionable goal. Whether it's signing up for a class, researching a destination, or joining a local group. Small actions create momentum. Third, share your vision. Talk to your loved ones, or even write your dream in the comments below. Sharing not only holds you accountable, but also inspires others to dream alongside you. Ask yourself this: if not now, when? If you've been waiting for the perfect time, maybe the truth is that today is the perfect time. Retirement is a gift, not a sentence. It's a chance to step boldly into experiences that reflect who you truly are. Your next grand adventure doesn't need to wait until tomorrow, next month, or next year. It starts with the choice you make today. So dream big, take action, and embrace this exciting chapter. Because the best part of your story is still waiting to be written. And it begins right now. Retirement is not a closing chapter. It's the opening of a brand new story, one filled with freedom, growth, and discovery. You've spent years building experience, wisdom, and resilience, and now is the time to use them to create the life you've always imagined. Whether it's travel, learning, giving back, or simply embracing joy each day, your next grand adventure is waiting. Don't let old stereotypes hold you back. Step forward with courage and excitement. The best years of your life are not behind you. They are right ahead. Thank you